What is up guys, Manga here back again with another banger. Today I will talk about my top 10 favorite manga of all time. In my previous video, I just want to thank my subscribers for pressing the like button, sharing with their friends or anyone, and also leaving a comment in the comment section, also their thoughts on this and thoughts on that. Also, beware of the spoilers, because there are some certain manga panels that might pop up when I'm talking about why I like the series, this and that might ruin your overall experience. And if you still want to continue on, just watch at your own risk. And for those who are newcomers, definitely subscribe, leave a like button to my previous video, and also leave your comments and thoughts in the comment section. Now, it's time for Mang to deliver his top 10 favorite manga of all time. Let's get started. Okay, if you're looking for an underrated gem that is also a shonen, a quality shonen, then look no further than Claymore. What I like about Claymore, first of all, is the action. It has one of the most fluid, smooth fight sequences that I have ever seen in a manga. He has epic monster battles that doesn't just feel like your typical fetch quest. And look at the designs for the Abyssal ones and the other character designs. It's flat out amazing. Look at the creativity from the author. I will give him props for this, man. Also sad moments, genuinely happy moments, and what I also love about Claymore is it has the best female cast of characters I've ever seen in shonen. Fact. Because I just don't find the appeal of the other female shonen characters like Orihime, Nezuko, Uraraka, Ursa, and so on and so forth. Once again, they fell short for me. Overall, this is the only good underrated shonen that I have discovered by far. If you also want a dark fantasy manga with a dark and gritty story with an unpredictable plot that keeps you wanting more and more, just read this, man. You're wondering, what are you going to do if you think you're the only person alive? How are you going to find other people that will help you? Or how are you going to survive through the enemies that will come right at you? This is Eden is an Endless World, a post-apocalyptic manga that gives an insight regarding complex themes. For example, when people are turning to stone organisms, or when people are turning to colloids, aka the closure virus, like they can turn into crystal, that causes a worldwide pandemic. I also love the main character of the series, man. He starts out as a naive kid who doesn't know how to rescue his sister and his mom. He meets these interesting characters at the first chapters, and later on he undergoes a character progression. He becomes more cruel because he needs to be, because when the world is cruel, he needs to be cruel too. Like, he's not hesitant to kill anybody, and sometimes people go through that path depending on their circumstances. The thing that I also love about Eden is an Endless World are its characters. The way they were written was just beautiful, because it's like you feel a human connection between those characters, and because of the relationships they have forged as the series progresses. And I also like how the author doesn't just kill off characters just for the sake of killing off characters, unlike oh. Now, the fight scenes are amazing, no doubt about it, but it's downright brutal. Tons of gore, tons of like scary things happening, but it's not just edgy for the sake of being edgy. It definitely matches the dark and gritty tone of the story. It also has the art that might not be the best, but it definitely matches the grit and tenacity of the story. The last thing I want to discuss about this manga is how the author was able to take so many risks and handle them beautifully. For example, when he was introducing so many characters or so many subplots. All in all, it's definitely in one of my favorites of all time, and this is the manga that everyone needs to read. It's just a dope series, man. If you want to read a seinen series that will give you one of the best experiences you've ever had, the one has the best fights and the best action, then look no further. Blade of the Immortal is hands down the best samurai manga I have ever read. What I love about Blade the Immortal is it has a revenge story that's solid. It doesn't just feel like a typical revenge story. It's where this female main character meets the main male character, aka the 100-man killer, and they go on a journey of revenge. They also meet these interesting characters that are so fleshed out, and especially the antagonist. There's just something about him that makes you drawn into him, and maybe he could be Maybe he's because he's a badass or any other factors that makes you drawn into him. Personally, he's in my top 10 favorite villains of all time. And it also has the best action sequences I've ever seen. Once again, I'll keep mentioning about best fights, best actions, but yeah, man, it definitely has this gritty nature into it that, man, I can honestly say, even though the first couple of chapters have some rough sketches that makes it hard to follow, but later on, it has the art that really improves it, which was really dope to see. All in all, it's hands down the best samurai manga I have ever read personally. There's just no other samurai manga that can ever compare. Okay, if you're wondering what is this quality piece of work that Hayao Miyazaki ever made ever since Princess Mononoke, it also had a movie that was produced in the 1980s. Can you guess what this is? Yes, you got it right. This is Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. First of all, what makes it great is because of the world. It has one of the most extremely detailed post-apocalyptic manga I've ever seen, with this immaculate detailed artwork, but also with the giant monsters, the giant insects that are causing the toxic environment that kill all the people, which also causes conflict with the other nations. You also see other political aspects and political battle inside with other nations, and also the main characters also start fighting for her people, also fighting for her beliefs in her own sense of justice. She's also one of the most badass female characters I've ever seen in the manga, which makes it even more better. Also, during the war, you see a lot of casualties in the manga. You see kids, you see adults, you see old people getting killed, and it's definitely a heartbreaking moment. Don't get me wrong, the movie adaptation is easily one of my favorite anime movies of all time, but the manga is just much better because you get better pacing, you get better artwork, you also get better characterization from the main character and also from the other characters as well. Lastly, this is one of my favorite manga that I have read for a very long time, and please, if you only watch the movie, please dive in straight to the manga, and I promise you will see better results. Now let's switch things up, since I want to talk about one of my favorite shoujo mangas of all time, which is Fruits Basket. It was my first shoujo manga when I first got into manga. Also, this is one of the few rare occurrences where there's a faithful anime adaptation. I'm talking about the reboot, by the way. Definitely check it out if you haven't. But it cut some stuff out. They added some new content that wasn't present for the manga. I can still honestly say that I prefer the reboot over the manga when it comes to Fruits Basket. But the manga is still absolutely amazing. Let's discuss the things that I love about Fruits Basket. The writing and the story is good, no doubt about it. But one of the main reasons why I deem this to be one of my favorites are its characters. These are the most extremely broken cast of characters that I've ever seen from the manga. From the protagonist to the side characters to the antagonists, they have it all. The layers of depth and the emotional growth of these characters are just amazing. Also, the way they deal with their internal conflict that occurs while they live their lives in their normal ways is also very inspiring too. And I've never seen a manga that has so many life lessons that we can apply in real life, which enhances the overall experience that can make you say, wow, this is truly phenomenal. And thank you so much, Takuya Sensei, for creating one of my favorite shoujo manga of all time, and also my favorite shoujo anime of all time. Truly a masterpiece. Guessing from this picture, you already know which manga I'm going to talk about. And yes, this is Nana by Ayazawa, aka the greatest shoujo mangaka of all time. Definitely check out her other works like Paradise Kiss and her bunch of other stuff, because it's definitely worth your time. Now, let's discuss what I love about Nana the most. First of all, the main female characters that caught the same train to the same destination, and they also share the same name coincidentally, and their journey starts from there. Even though they are living at the same apartment, they have different goals. Also, this manga explores themes that include music, fame, friendship, love, intimacy, heartbreaks, and so many more. These are the experiences that these female characters go through. When it comes to the other characters, they are the most realistic characters I've ever come across. Sometimes when we see ourselves in the mirror, our reflection of ourselves, of our wrongdoings and mistakes and all the bad choices we have made in our lives. There's also genuinely hilarious moments, sad moments, and so on and so forth. I just wish Aizawa could continue this quality piece of work so we can get the best conclusions from certain characters that were left behind from the latest chapter. But still, Nana is easily one of my favorites from all time. It will never change. Now, this is a slow burn manga that can make us say, wow, the payoff is so amazing, 10 out of 10, masterpiece. And that manga is no other than Monster. Before we get started about the things that I love about Monster, I just want to mention that this manga also had an amazing adaptation that I've ever seen in my whole life. From the voice acting to the suspense to the animation to the atmosphere and the OST overall, which enhances the overall experience to me personally. And I can honestly say that I prefer the anime over the manga when it comes to Monster. However, the manga is still absolutely phenomenal. The things that I love about Monster are the mystery and suspense aspect of the manga. It can definitely keep you the edge of your seat at all times. It also has the best villain of all time, the best supporting character of all time, and an amazing cast of characters in general. Also, the things that I love about Monster is the maturity and the atmosphere that are set in this manga. It makes you feel like you're experiencing things, you're realizing about what these characters are made of. And overall, this is just one of the best manga of all time that stayed in my favorites for a very long time as well. Have you seen a manga that has little to no wasted characters that can make you say, wow, the cast of characters here are incredible, they are well written, and there is not a single or little to no wasted characters in the manga? You already know what this is. Hunter x Hunter by the god of all shonen mangaka, Yoshihiro Togashi, bro. Once again, this is another example of having a faithful anime adaptation. Shout out to Madhouse for creating this beautiful masterpiece. Definitely check out it if you haven't. Imagine not checking out Hunter x Hunter 2011. Oh, you're a fraud, bro. But now, this is also one of the instances as well that the anime is better than the manga, but the manga still holds up to its quality up to this day. Now, let's get started about the things that I love about Hunter x Hunter the most. First of all is the adventure aspect of the manga. It starts off as a very simple adventure quest, and the protagonist meets these interesting characters in the first chapters, the Hunter exam arc, but it gets more complex as time goes on. And speaking of arcs, they are incredible. I've never seen a shonen manga that has so many quality arcs from after another. For example, the Chimera Ant arc, the York New City arc, and so on and so forth. Because these arcs offer something different to the table that I've never seen before. And also, the power system is creative and unique. It includes strategy, the fights, I'm talking about the fights, and you won't see any random asshole anywhere because everything is explained in how the powers work, and it has interesting, well-written characters overall, which I've already mentioned before. This is also one of the mangaka that I respect so much, that I want to come back and dominate the shonen manga, not just the shonen manga actually, but the manga industry as well, because when a Hunter x Hunter chapter drops, the world will shake, man. Honestly, I can feel it in my room right now. Oh my god. And man, yeah, I just want Togashi's Nen to come back and create another chapter, man. It's been a long time, man, a very long time. We've been dying to read another chapter, man. Now, if you're looking for a shoujo manga that is just flat out amazing, then look no further than Yona of the Dawn. This is easily my favorite shoujo manga of all time, man. Now, let's talk about the things that I love about Yona of the Dawn. First of all, is the story. This is where the female protagonist when her life has been turned around like a complete 360 in a negative way. Is when her cousin kills her father so that he can ascend to the throne. First, she was thinking about getting revenge against her cousin, but it's not a good idea since it will be the downfall of the kingdom of Koka if there's no king. So instead, she tries to go to different nations to correct her father's wrongdoings when he was still reigning as a king, and this is also the main reason why her cousin kills her father, the king, to become the better ruler of the kingdom of Koka for the benefit of all the people and also for the benefit of the kingdom overall. And honestly, I can keep going on how great the story is, man, because it gets more deeper and more complex than that, but I don't want this video to be more stretched out than it already is. Now, the next thing that I will talk about why I love Yona of the Dawn the most are the characters. These are the best cast of characters I've ever seen from a shoujo manga. It also has my favorite cast of characters I've ever seen from a shoujo manga as well. They're just very interesting, man. Now, the character development aspect of this manga for the other characters are great, no doubt about it. But the thing that stands out for me the most is the character development of the female protagonist. From a spoiled princess that does not know anything about the outside world to a badass female warrior. That is what you call character development, bro. Also, the action sequences are good with its good fluidity and how smooth the fighting sequences are. And for a shoujo manga to ever do this, it's just an amazing feat on its own, man. And you know what? I can keep going and how great this manga really is, but you know what? I don't want this video to be more stretched out than it already is, but yeah, man. This is easily my favorite shoujo manga of all time, bar none. And the manga that is coming at the #1 spot, you already know what this is, man. Berserk by no other than Kentaro Miura. Thank you so much for creating my favorite manga of all time, and also thank you for giving me one of the best experiences I've ever had when it comes to reading a manga. No, let me take that back actually. My best experience when it comes to reading a manga. And I just want to let you know, guys, that the Berserk 1997 adaptation is the only good adaptation of Berserk. And the other Berserk adaptations, like the Berserk movies and the Berserk 2016 version, are just not it, bro. Now, I just want to keep it simple on the things that I love about Berserk. First of all, it has a story that has a dark and gritty tone into it. It also has a lot of blood. You'll see a lot of bodies getting mangled, bodies getting teared up. It also has an amazing cast of characters that I've ever seen from a manga. They are very, very well written. It also has the best arc in Golden Age. There's just no other arcs that can beat this one, bar none. It also has the best protagonist that I've ever seen from a manga, because I just never seen a manga main character that suffered as much as Guts, and also has the one of the best villains of all time in Griffith as well. Now this brings me to the end of my video. Definitely leave a like and subscribe if you haven't, because I forgot to tell you in my introduction. So yeah, just do it, man. Now I'm not really certain about the other uploads that I'll be doing for the next upcoming weeks, because I'm very busy with my university stuff, like my assessments, my reports, my final exams, and so on and so forth. And yeah, I'm just really bummed out right now. And yeah, but for now, just stay tuned for my my next upcoming content, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.